I'm going to read another blog post for the people who don't like reading. This is called Fats Are Our Friends. I know, just listen. They are. That's why they taste so good. No, that's not really why. But fats help us in a lot of ways that we don't give them credit for. For example, if you do not consume fats, your body cannot digest the vitamins A, E, D, or K. And you can probably guess where essential fatty acids, keyword essential, come from. But aside from that, fats also keep your skin and your hair healthy. It's true. If you're fat probably didn't make you that way. Sure, fat contains a lot of calories, and if you consume more calories than you burn, you gain weight. But if you've ever tried to lose weight, you know it's a little more complicated than that. Lots of people wonder why, even after consuming only low-fat or fat-free foods, they're just not losing weight. Now the claim sounds nice, but fats are a little more complicated than the imaginary idea that they just enter your body and sit around on your thighs being useless. Our modern fear of fat was born around the same time that I was, at the tail end of the 1980s. More and more foods were being sold as low-fat or fat-free alternatives, and the health-conscious people bought it all. You might have noticed that since then, we've gotten fatter. So, if fat isn't the real enemy here, then what's causing the problem? Two things. First, added sugar. This includes high fructose corn syrup, which is in almost everything. For the past 20 years, nearly every fat-free or low-fat food has been absolutely loaded with added sugars. What, you thought they just removed the delicious fatty goodness from their product and expect you to eat it anyway? Now, if you want to know exactly how your body digests added sugars, so did I. So listen up, because I found out. Now, everybody knows that sugar causes hyperactivity and diabetes. Actually, it does neither of those things, but whatever. Table sugar is called a simple carbohydrate because your digestive lining in your small intestine, which usually filters things, it lets the sugar right out into your bloodstream as glucose. Now, this is the part where your blood sugar spikes, because there's a lot of sugar in your blood. And your liver secretes insulin to fix it. Often too much insulin, which results in an energy crash a few hours later, and then you're just grumpy. On the way to your liver, the glucose attempts to provide energy to all the cells it passes. Now, table sugar is probably the worst kind of energy you can feed your cells because it delivers no nutrition. But if you're running a marathon, this energy is probably appreciated, and my dog is coughing up a hairball. More likely, you're sitting at a computer eating a yogurt, and your body didn't need that. So what happens to the sugar that doesn't get burned away? Unused glucose is converted into glycogen, which is stored in the liver or the muscles in case you need some extra fuel later. But once those storage spaces are full, and they often are unless you're an avid exerciser, your liver has no choice but to turn this into adipose tissue all around your body. That is body fat. Body fat can be used as a fuel when all the other sources are gone, but it can never become glycogen again. And if you already have more than a healthy amount of body fat, this sucks for your body. The other culprit in our obesity epidemic is maybe something you've never even thought about. The rest of the simple carbohydrates, which are digested just like table sugars, are things most of us consider pretty important parts of our diet. White bread, white pasta, pretty much anything made with white flour, and most breakfast cereals are all bad guys. I know, it hurts me too. Here's a pretty good explanation from howtothinkthin.com. Read the labels. If the label lists sugar, sucrose, fructose, corn syrup, white, or even wheat flour, they contain simple carbohydrates. If these ingredients are at the top of the list, they may contain mostly simple carbohydrates and little else. They should be avoided. The rest are obvious things like cake, soda, and candy. Now, I'm not claiming that carbohydrates are bad. That's the Atkins diet theory, and if you want to live by that, that's cool. What I'm saying is that for most people, simple carbohydrates are bad. Complex carbohydrates like vegetables and whole wheat flour, they're fine. And your body actually uses carbs as its main source of fuel, so by all means, eat as many complex carbs as you need to go about your business. But just remember what your business is. If you know that you don't get as much exercise as you should, maybe try to limit your carb intake to reflect that. That's all I'm saying. To this day, the government plays a huge role in demonizing the presence of fat in our foods. Whether they're simply bad at science or working to please some corporate lobbyist, I don't know. But they're wrong. And until we correctly identify what's making us fat, we're probably just going to keep getting fatter. I hope this compilation of my tireless Googling can help somebody out, even a little bit. Now, if you'd like to read more about different kinds of fats, and about how saturated or trans fats are sometimes good for you, check out the Wikipedia article on fats. I promise it's interesting. No, wait. I promise that I found it interesting. Thank you. Have a great day.